Hey guys, welcome back to the Actor Magic channel. Today we have a special guest. This is Kiko. And he's been bugging the crap out of me, but this is not a video about Kiko. This is about cEDH Kenrith. This is the build that I found that I really enjoyed looking at. And this is a build that I think a lot of people can look at from a cEDH perspective, like, okay, yeah, I can see how that would win. And yeah, that seems like it would be pretty consistency. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Kenrith, and this is a cEDH review, I'm sorry, this video is going to take a little homework before we get into this. So go look up Kenrith. I'm on Mox Field here, and so I'm looking at Kenny Turbo is the name of this deck. If you want to follow along. Now, Kenrith, he's got every color. He's Warbird, so he's cool. But I think the thing that I like about this is the inclusion of so much fast mana. And it's not necessarily about spending the most, in my opinion. Whenever you go to do these cEDH decks, it's really like kind of checking out on like, oh, okay, I've spent all this money on this card. It needs to be in the deck. As nice as that is to have that card, take it out, bro. Sometimes you just have to cut your favorite card to be able to get that win. All right, so a lot of this stuff here that is just some early mana. We got Elvish Spirit Guide. We have got Simian Spirit Guide. We have Tenderwall, Skirk Prospector, which is an interesting one. We'll talk about that one here a little bit more in a minute. And then we also have, yeah, so those are kind of our fast mana spells as far as creatures are concerned. Then if we come down here, we have Rite of Flame, a little bit more mana there. And then we also have, I believe, we have a Dark Ritual as well. So we have some of this fast mana stuff going on. I thought there was Carpet of Flowers as well. So you're going to have a lot of fast mana in this build, and I really enjoyed that. The next thing so we even include some Deathrite Shaman being able to exile a land and being able to add more mana to your mana pool. Also has a lot more utility other than that, but it's the 1 mana Planeswalker. That's the reason why it got banned in Modern. Dockside Extortionist is also going to let us go and get some more mana on turn 2. Sometimes turn 2, depending on how many mana rocks are on the board, it's just going to make it like you're going to be able to win the game off all that mana. But additionally, though, having Skirk Prospector and Simian Spirit Guide, you can now sacrifice. Oh, no, not Simian Spirit Guide. Skirk Prospector and Dockside Extortionist can do a lot of work. I believe there might be a combo with Skirk Prospector and what do you call it? Dockside Extortionist in the deck. I just haven't seen it yet. Okay, the next thing that I really enjoy is we've got a whole crap load of, we got Force of Will, we have Mental Misstep, we have Miscast, we have Pact of Negation, we have Spell Pierce, Swansong, we have even Veil of Summer to some extent is a counterspell on its own right. Then we also have, I thought there was a Pact of Negation, it does not seem so. There is a Flusterstorm as well. So being able to really hold up a lot of counterspell is very, very good. Next up, let's talk about, so we're talking about that. Then we also have a touch of taxes effects. We've got Esper Sentinel here, making people pay mana so we can draw the cards. I love that. I love Opposition Agent. It really jacks with people's plans. And with all this fast mana, you could cast it on turn 1 and really destroy, absolutely wreck their ability. Hey, buddy. Absolutely wreck their ability to continue the game because they don't have any mana. Like in response to effects, that kind of thing. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, okay. So the next thing we've got is talking about Grim Hireling can give you some more mana if you're doing combat damage. I don't really agree with that in this build. I think I would look for something else. Maybe I don't know that a Thalia would be good. Maybe a Sylvan Safekeeper I think would be good to start protecting parts of your combo. or something like that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Kenrith and Prodigy is part of combos with your mana rocks later in the thing. Thank you, love. And I really like Kenrith and Prodigy because then you're able to keep comboing off. Melvin Herbin is another combo piece. He's cool. Oh, not a combo piece. Sorry, counterspell. I like him. I think that he's going to do a lot of things in Commander. He's going to do a lot of things specifically in cEDH. So I think he's cool. Go ahead and pick up your copies. I don't think he's terribly expensive. What is he? 50 post. I don't know. Anyway, then we also have, let's see, let's getting away from the creatures. We have Sarah's Ascendant. Sarah's Ascendant is sometimes just going to win the game. Like, you're going to cast it on turn 1. You're going to start beating somebody to death, and that's going to put you so far ahead that, like, having one opponent in the graveyard, so to speak, is going to just wreck, and it's awesome. So I really love Sarah's Ascendant in this build. Let us see any of the other ones that I did not talk about. Phantasmal Image, just copy anything on the board. Great. Anything that would target Phantasmal Image in cEDH is going to kill it likely anyway, so you don't care that it sacrifices. You're mostly looking for enters the battlefield effects anyway. Ranger Captain Eos, being able to go and find Sarah's Ascendant, or even a Tender Wall, which is interesting. And let's see what else we can find. We can find the Esper Sentinel or Deathrite Shaman with our Captain Ranger Eos, which gives us a lot of utility. Then let's talk about our our tutors. I really enjoy Gamble because we're doing so much from our graveyard, but we also have Imperial Seal, and I can't recommend that you go and buy this card unless you can proxy it. Sure, if your shop allows that. But there's no reason to spend $800 on this card. Just proxy. Sorry, Wizards. Print new cards, Wizards. Sorry, a little bitter. Gamble, Demonic Tutor, staples, in the cEDH format. Let's see what else we got in here. We also have, as far as our rituals, that's kind of a ritual, not really. Enlightened Tutor, excellent. Searching for artifacts or enchantments, we can search for Basalt Monolith. I believe it's Basalt Monolith. Let's see if we got that in here. No. I would actually argue with this build. I would include probably one Basalt Monolith so that I could, with Cannon Bonder Prodigy, I can then make infinite mana and go off infinite colorless mana with Cannon Bond Prodigy and Basalt Monolith, untapping it, tapping it for colorless, and just keep going off. I think that would be wise to include in here. Let's see what else we got for tutors. This one's kind of a weird one. Praetor's Grasp is a weird tutor. It's a sorcery. Oh, sorry. Sorcery, search target opponent's library for a card and exile it face down. Then that player shuffles his or her library. You may look at it and play that card for as long as it remains exiled. I like this card because so much of this format is kind of duplicative. And so the Force Negations, Force of Wills, Rhystic Studies, all kinds of good stuff. Basically, go search your opponent's library and find the thing that you need to win. In a lot of cEDH communities, it's going to be great. And you're also in 5 colors, so you're not worried about the casting cost, the color of the casting cost. Let's see this. All right, hold on. We're not done with the tutors. Intuition is probably one of the best tutors. So Intuition, search your library for any 3 cards, reveal them to target opponent. He or she chooses one, put that card in your hand, and the rest in the graveyard. Shuffle your library. Because we're going to have stuff to do some reanimate stuff or return to our hand, Intuition is fantastic. It's just such a good card. Mystical Tutor we've got down here. Search your library for instant sorcery card, put it on top. Good. Let's see, Tainted Pact. Again, more like it's part of the combo than it is part of this. Vampiric Tutor, search your library for a card, put that card on top. You pay 2 life. Worldly Tutor, again, put it on top. Awesome. All of these 1 mana tutors are fantastic. Now, I will argue that, let's talk about some more of our effects that are kind of unique to this build. We have Time Twister. You're drawing 7 cards again, shuffling your library, getting you a reset. I don't recommend you ever buy this card unless you're like actually looking to, invest. And then proxy. Wheel of Fortune, again, don't spend the money. Invest if you want to, but stay away from this stuff. Windfall. Yeah, obviously, all of these cards are just like get rid of my hand, give me a new hand, and they're all really great. All great cards. Let us see. Then we have some recursion. So we have reanimate at 1. Put target creature card from graveyard on the battlefield under your control from a graveyard. Interesting. You lose life equals to its converted mana cost. We don't have any really terribly big creatures to go find and put them in our graveyard. Cards that might do some things for you are Jin Gitaxias. If you were to fetch him up and they put him in the library in the graveyard somehow, or something like that, that would be a good include in here, and then you can reanimate it. That would be probably really good. Jin Gitaxias just shuts people out of the game because it makes them discard their hand. Let's see what else we got. Silence, protecting yourself. It's not quite a negation, but it lets you go off. Similarly with Grand Abolisher here at the top. Yeah. Don't do stuff on my turn, brah. Let's see, what else do we have that I really enjoyed in this deck? This one's kind of interesting. Return target land permanent to its owner's hand if you control that permanent, draw a card. This would be really good with Dockside Extortionist, and also really, really good with, let's see what else we got. Thassa's Oracle, in case they somehow interrupt your combo. So you can put it back in your hand and then try again, try again. Or it's even good with things like spot removal, just in general for like opposition agent. Let us see, what else do we have in here? Let's see. We got all of our rocks, talisman, Wishclaw Talisman searches your library for a card, but it leaves it tapped so that they can't use it immediately. Find Lion's Eye Diamond, dump your hand. Grim Monolith, yada yada yada. Those are typical. Belwar Stone, I'm cool with it because we're in 5 color, but typically I don't necessarily think that it's the best because you're limiting yourself to what opponents controls. But since we're in cEDH and everybody's gonna have every color anyway, sure, sounds good to me. Let's see. Mystic Remora and Ristic Studies. Obviously, play those cards. Underworld Breach. Let's just get going again. Let's talk about Reanimate some more a little bit. We have Underworld Breach. We have, where was it? Noxious Revival is really good for this deck and being able to put whatever we want back on top. Let me think. What else? We also had one more. So we had, and then we have, what do you call it? I don't remember where it went. It's a sorcery. That's right. Reanimate. So we have some ways of getting stuff back. Blah blah blah. Nah, but we have some ways of getting stuff back in case it goes to the graveyard. Let's talk about. Let's see what else we got here. I think the mana base and the artifacts are great. The mana base is just very, very typical. You know, the best of the best cards in the format. These are the best, so there's no wandering around. I don't know that 28 lands is the way that I would go. I mean, although on the other hand we have 14 artifacts that are mana artifacts, so you're gonna get one of 2 of these rather. So it's risk. I think it's a little risky. I think I'd probably run 30, but again, to each his own. Let's see what else. Then we'll talk about the ways to win. Obviously, we have our Thassa's Oracle, and let's see, Thassa's Oracle, and where's it at? A Demonic Consultation. In response to Thassa's Oracle, remove your library from the game. And then we also have Tainted Pact. Says remove the top card of your library from the game. And then just repeat the process until you remove your library from the game and win with Thassa's Oracle. very hard for them to interact with that combo. That's why it's such a staple in cEDH. You had to run some kind of stifle effect, and I don't even see a stifle effect in here. If you had some kind of stifle effect in here, I think you would be really well positioned to play that because how many people play Thassa's Oracle in cEDH. Being able to stifle that trigger, and now they have no library, it's fantastic. Let's see, what else do we have? There's another reanimate card. Again, return target permanent with convert mana cost 3 less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If this is cast from your graveyard, you may copy this spell and choose new targets for the copy. I like this. It really gives us back some of our mana rocks, of our say Grand Abolisher, any of the stuff that we're really doing a lot of great stuff with it here at the top. We have 16 creatures, and we have 14 artifacts and 4. So we have 34 targets for that reanimator spell, and it's anything. So that's where did it go again? Savine's recommendation. So this is really, really good. I like it because of so many targets. This video is getting long, Steven. All right, so let's talk about other ways that we can do this. Target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in his or her library round up each time. Then they lose half their life. If I was running this, I would probably also run the I thought there was a way that they lose life equal to the life already lost this turn. There are some cards like that that will make them I don't know that it's competitive in this format. I don't think that I would run it necessarily. I don't know why this particular build has that card. I mean, you are going to draw a lot of cards. And so you could just win from there. So losing half your life to be able to draw all those cards, you might just win on the spot. So I get that, I understand that, but a 7 mana is still really steep in my opinion. Let's see what else. We also have a brain freeze combo. So with brain freeze, you could just so it's kind of interesting that you can respond to somebody else comboing off with a brain freeze and just mill that person to death. So if they're going, if they're storming off at the end of they've cast their gut shot, they've cast their own brain freeze, respond with your brain freeze, and then they're gone too. It's kind of funny. Let's see. I believe there should be some way of comboing off with that in here. I do not see it off the top of my head. I don't. Oh, well, we have an Underworld Breach. Once we have Underworld Breach in hand and, sorry, a Brain Freeze, we should be able to win right there in the spot. Ad Nauseam is interesting because I don't see, what's that card? The 1 mana. Ad Nauseam is interesting because I do not see the 1 mana split second card, Angel's Grace, in the deck, which is, oh, why? So I would think I would include at least one Angel's Grace. I'm sure that they have other ways of protecting you from Ad Naz just murdering you. But anyway, so let's see. Is there any other thing that I wanted to talk about? There's certainly some holes in this deck, in my opinion. I think that I would kind of kind of hone it down. I would kind of get more focused on the combos that I'm trying to do. I don't think that you want I don't think you want Peer into the Abyss. That's just me. I'd rather have Angel's Grace and Adnaz. You know? I'd rather have I'm not sure about Rite of Flame either. I think that it's good, but I mean, like, it's only 2 mana instead of 1. It's rough. So I like this build a lot. There's a lot of fast mana in it, but I think there's some really pointed weak spots in the deck. But it's a cool deck. It's a very cool deck, and this is kind of like, I mean, let me see if I can. Let's see, what was the total cost of this deck? Let's see, what was the price on this deck? The deck's cost is what? No, it's not. I really love this Mox Field. It's a really, really cool site. But like if you proxied it out and just play test it, let's see what buy deck TCG player, it's gonna cost you about $12,000. Almost 13, probably 13 with 13 and a half with tax. This is absurd. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming out. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is a different video than I normally do, but I think I might start looking into the cEDH community and doing reviews of decks. I think the thing that's important to note about cEDH is that brewing is not what you're going to be doing here. You're trying to win. And kind of setting aside that kind of ego. I have an ego about I want to brew, I want to build something, and that's not the space. Like cEDH isn't the space you do that in. You have about 10 to 15, or sorry, 5 to 10 flex slots in most of these builds, but I don't necessarily think that you, if you're a brewer like I am, this isn't the place for you. If you are a competitive, tight line playing kind of person, that you're more from the modern scene or the standard scene, I think this is going to be right up your alley, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Brewers, beware of cEDH. Competitive guys who like all those tight lines, really, really fine-tuned interactions, and a lot of interaction. This is the business then in that case. But anyway, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was from one of my subscribers. I'm sorry, buddy, I forgot your name on the video. I'll please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Where's the button?